A young, strong lion with a thick, dark mane was handsome. He could have started his own pride. But the predator was so lazy that he didn't want to take responsibility for anyone. By habit, the lion spent a good half of the day sleeping. Then he wandered back and forth in search of water or some other distractions. But at sunset, the king of Africa hunted. He was lucky because the lion lived in a great valley where there were no other predators, and food roamed literally everywhere. However, the good days suddenly ended. To the misfortune of the lion and the other inhabitants of Africa, a long drought began. The scorching heat eventually forced most animals to leave the once paradise-like valley. But the lion was so lazy that he didn't leave. Time passed. It became harder and harder for the predator to get food. He had to put in more and more effort for smaller prey. As a result, the lion grew thin. His mane became matted, and his belly shrank. For many days, he wandered through the valley in search of food, but found nothing. Until one day, at dawn, he saw a zebra walking alone across the plain. Apparently, it had fallen behind its herd and was now leaving the unwelcoming land by itself. The lion wanted to pounce on it but felt too lazy. Besides, he had already walked a lot that day, losing what little energy he had left. So the predator thought, "I'll lie down and rest. When the next zebra appears, I'll eat it." But the next day came, and again, after wandering fruitlessly through the valley, the lion lay at sunset, nearly exhausted, blaming himself. "Why did I laze out and not chase that zebra? If anyone else appears, they won't get away from me." And as if someone heard him, on the horizon an animal appeared again. This time it was an old jackal. It shuffled along, dragging its feet across the dry ground, leaving behind small clouds of yellowish red dust. One might think the starving predator would pounce on the jackal and tear it to pieces. But the lion was too lazy to get up. He was so tired from the day spent battling the relentless heat. Lions don't eat old jackals, he told himself, and rolled onto his other side, letting the wild dog leave the valley. And so another day came. The lion was completely exhausted. He hadn't eaten or drunk properly in many days, surviving only on roots. Now, the young predator was ready to eat anything. He lay in the shade of a tree, lamenting the zebra and the jackal that had recently passed him by. Out of the thick, yellowed bushes, the head of a wildebeest antelope appeared. It was a strong, healthy antelope. The lion's eyes lit up, and he wanted to pounce on it, as it was so close. But he had no strength left. Imagine that, sensing the predator's weakness, the wildebeest calmly walked right in front of his nose. And, just like the zebra and the jackal before it, the antelope left the inhospitable land in search of a livable place. And what about the lion? The king of Africa did not see the next sunset. Due to his arrogance and laziness, the predator unknowingly spent the strength he needed to survive. Meanwhile, in another valley 1,000 kilometers from the place where life had become unbearable, the zebra, the old jackal, and the wildebeest antelope lived together. They had nothing to fight over and no reason to fear one another. Because, thanks to their perseverance, they now lived in a true paradise, where there was plenty of everything.